What up, guys? Welcome back to Base Damage. Today we're bringing you a deck profile from the Prism Illya set. This is just the handful of zeros right here. But this is Kool-Aid. With me is...
Almost alive Joe Schmo.
Almost alive Joe Schmo. He's still recovering. But yeah, big, awesome thank you and shout out to Pay3 for Hanyo, helping me get the last of the Kaleidoscope Illya that I needed. So I was actually able to work with this deck a bit more and basically finally bring this deck profile, because I didn't want to do the deck profile with only 3, and then obviously 4 makes consistency but much better. So let's get right into this. So starting with the 4s. Starting with the level 0s. Got 4 copies of Temporary Retreat Kuro. At the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, you may mill the top card of your deck. If it is a magic character, which the entire deck is magic, minus climaxes, you're good. You may move this card to an open position of your center stage. So mill runner, like the level 0 Kirito from SAO. 4 copies of Necessity Illya. Yes, she is. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, you can look at the top card of your deck and you either put it on the top or the bottom of your deck. There's a lot of top check and top of the deck manipulation in this for setting up for the level 3 game, and that's what this deck focuses on completely, is the level 3 game. When this card is put into your waiting room from the stage, you can pay 1 and discard a card. Search your deck for a magic character. Not level limited like Clumsy Girl Inaduma, which is just level 1 and lower, or the Miria from Idolmaster. But just grab any magic character, add it to your hand, straight up. So really useful, because you want to go ahead and get the Kaleidoscope stuff and get those ready. Just as a big beat stick, I got 2 copies of Promise Illya. The number of cards in your hand is 6 or more. She gets 1500 power, so she can become a free 4K. And this kind of encourages myself, like in play style wise, to keep a hand at level 0. So, just throw just the 1 card down, and just encourages me to actually be a better player. So, 1 copy of Sweet's Battle Outbreak Kuro. When another of your magic characters or character with Mimi, and there's no Mimis in this deck, so just count this. When another magic character attacks, this gets 1000 power till end of turn. So, level 0, you swing with 2 other characters, she could become a 4K as well, so all that 4K power at level 0. When this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, you can pay 1 and deal yourself a damage from the top of the deck. If you do, you can choose a magic character from your waiting room and add it back to your hand. So I did not feel that it was too immensely needed, because to get more than a couple copies of, but 1 seems to be doing just fine. 2 copies of Magical Stick Ruby. This is solely just played late game, because when it's placed on stage from hand, you can look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put them back in any order. So it's just the top check manipulation. 2 copies of this Brainstormer, Mission Failed Miyu. It's a spammable brainstorm, which is why you basically want to be able to pay out any copies of this that you get into the stock. So you got several ways between her and her to be able to pay to be able to do that. And that, because you have to have those climaxes to be able to do your combo late game. Pay 1, mill 4 for every climax, give a character 2K until end of turn. So pretty cool. 2 copies of Kaleido Ruby, another kind of on the topic of you don't want these to be stuck in there and you want hand advantage. Her second ability comes in for that. You pay 2, tap her, and grab back a character from the waiting room to hand. And then your other character in the middle position of your center stage gets 500 power. So this deck is not like super buff heavy until the late game, but that's whatever. Lastly, because space is a thing, 2 copies of In a Pinch Illya. Your other character in the middle position of your center stage gets 500 power and character encore, and that helps a whole bunch when you get your beat sticks out that you want to be able to just keep on the field. And also, you can pay 1, deal yourself a damage from the top of the deck, and tap her to choose one of your opponent's characters, and that character cannot stand during your opponent's next stand phase. So, yeah, that's actually come in handy a whole bunch, and make it so my opponent can't do combos that are on reverse, or just other shenanigans that I don't want them to untap and do shit. So, oh well, I can't kill this character, but they ain't standing either. Or Brainstormers, stuff like that. So, for level 0, we have 8, 12, 16, 18, 19. Think I did that math right? Here's hoping. If not, future me will fix this. Then we get into level 1s. First up is the first climax combo of the deck, because this just helps thin the deck out and gives you a really big beat stick. Illya being toyed around with. Simple climax combo. When that's played, you can summon a copy of this level 1 Kuro from the deck, just straight up. So you want to build up a little bit of stock during your level 0. If you pay out, make sure you still have like at least 1 or 2. When she attacks, if the number of cards in your stock is 2 or less, you put her into the waiting room. So you want to be able to, like, I like being able to play 2 of these, play this, summon 2 of these, like summon 1 back row. But that way, as long as you have 1 stock going into level 1, you guarantee that these aren't going to die, and you just keep that stock up. It's a lot of stock management for this deck, being able to make certain that your class card saber climax doesn't get stuck, and just being able to especially have enough stock to pay for all your level 3s that you want to drop late game. So that's those. 2 copies of Coincidence Miyu. She has an experience effect that gives her a buff. The total level of cards in your level is 2 or higher. She gets 1,000 power times the level of the character facing her. So that could be a nice little buff later on. And she has Clock on Core, because you kind of do want to keep some characters on the field. Between the End of Pinch being able to give, like, say, if you put this middle center with the End of Pinch Illya, this becomes like an 8K with character on core. So you can keep her alive, and then Clock on Core to keep her alive. Perfect Superhuman Miyu. This deck technically has like 3.5 climax combos. This being the half. Basically, when it attacks, if a blue climax, which is all your climaxes, is in your climax area, this is a forced effect. You have to do this, but you draw a card and then you discard a card. So you could just pitch the same card that you just drew, or if you want to hand fix and throw extra climaxes or whatever into the waiting room, you're cool. And then lastly, 2 copies of this free 15 backup. Thank you, Kuro. So 8, 12, 14 level 1s. Level 2s, you ready for this, Joe?
Yes,
This
sir.
is tense at level 2, 1 card.
All right.
Big Bath at Luvia's Mansion Miyu. You have to have level 1 and lower characters for the Kaleidoscope Illya, so you only run this one level 2, solely because it's a free fresh. When it's placed on stage from hand, if the number of cards in your deck is 5 or less, you get to shuffle your waiting room and your deck together, and then choose one of your characters, and that character gets 3,000 power till end of your opponent's next turn. So she can become a 10-5 at level 2. But it's the free fresh. It's really good, because when you refresh, you don't want the off chance of one of these going to your clock for the refresh damage. And then pay 2, tap her, draw a card. Or pay 2, tap 2 of your characters, draw a card. Ugh. Just that, 1 level 2 though. Now to the level 3s. I'm going to do the Illya last, but it's so that I can show the setup. 1 copy of Usual Scenery Illya. This is another one of the top deck manipulation cards at the end of the game. End game. When it's placed on stage from hand, you look at the top 6 cards of your deck. Send 3 of them to the waiting room and put the other 3 on top of your deck in any order. So you can purposely look at the top 6, make certain that you pick 3 level 1 or lowers for the Kaleidoscope Illya, and put those specifically on top of the deck for her combo. Then, when this card is placed on stage from hand, you can pay 1 to put a card from your hand to the waiting room. If you do, you get to heal 1, and this card gets 1,000 power till end of turn. But you don't really use that. You just use it for the other effect. Then 3 copies of Kaleidoscope Miyu. The Miyu is mandatory because you have to have at least 1 copy of it on the field when the Kaleidoscope Illya effect goes off. But basically, when she's placed on stage from hand, you look at the top cards of your deck equal to the number of magic characters that you have. Choose one of those cards, add it to your hand, the rest of it goes to the waiting room. So it helps you dig for more copies of the Climax. It helps you dig for just more combo pieces. She also has a combo with Class Card Saber, so this is basically like the second Climax combo with the deck, but not the main one. When it's placed on stage, when that is played, draw a card, and until end of turn, this card gets 1,500 power and the ability that when the battle opponent becomes reversed, you can put it on the bottom of your opponent's deck. So some decent little character removal in case you can't get but so many burns of the Kaleidoscope Illya off, which is, I mean, still fine. So just 3 of her, because you just have to have her for the most part. And then, thank you once again, pay 3 for Hanyo. 4 copies of Kaleidoscope Illya. And that's blurry. Or, there we go. Yeah, here we go. When she's placed on stage from your hand or by a change effect, the change effects are there, but you don't use them because they're level 2s. You draw up to 2 cards and then discard 1 card. Think of Kagi Kai. And then, here we go. Because this is so aggravating, the reason that you run 8 fucking pants triggers in this deck, when one of these is played, if you have this Miyu on field, you have to mill the top card of your deck. And if that card is a level 1 or lower card, the climaxes are counted as level 0, you may discard a copy of this card from your hand. All the characters that you have on center stage get the effect of when they attack, burn your opponent for 1.
So what you're telling me is it can stack.
What I'm telling you, good sir, is you can stack this card.
Not your deck, the card, people.
The burn effect. So I'm going to show you the more ideal setup that you want to do. What you want is you want 4 copies of this fucking card in hand. You want to be able to do, like play these 3, play this, mill some more, or look, check through the top of the deck some more, and play this last. Hopefully. You check the top 6, you set up at least 3 level 1 or lower cards on top of the deck for these effects. You play 1 of the class card Saber. When you do, mill 1. The effect goes off. Pitch 1, everyone gets a burn of 1. Repeat process. Mill 1, it's a level 1 or lower. Pitch 1, everyone gets another stack of burn 1 on attack. Repeat process, pitch. Requires 4 copies of this, but the dream is being able to stack 3 burns. So that you poke, burn for 1, burn for 1, burn for 1, damage. Poke, burn for 1, burn for 1, burn for 1, damage.
So each one's doing 6.
Each one's doing 3 instances of burn, 1.
And then 3 on
and
attack.
then 3 on each of the attacks at minimum. So you're getting 9 burn 1s off. Okay, have fun with your cancels. If you are at level 3, you are dead. Straight up. I don't care what anyone says. You're not going to be able to stack enough. And then still the 3 damage from each of these minimum.
I hear a challenge.
I mean, okay, Marvin. Anywho. But yes, that's you want 4 of this because consistency, and if you feel ballsy to see if you can get the burn 4 off, have fun. I'll let you, for anyone who hasn't listened to our podcast, I'll let you try to figure out how to do a stack of burn 4. And then I'm going to give you a roll of match shiny pennies. I'm just saying. Anyway, thank y'all for watching.
I just want to point out that it is possible to burn for 4.
It is possible. We figured this out. Thank you, Pesh Cats, for telling me how. No cheating by asking him. Anywho, thank y'all for watching. It's much appreciated. And please subscribe if you haven't already. Check out Brother Joe Schmo's channel if you haven't already. And we will see y'all on the flip side. Peace out for now.